The first warning came as a silent pulse across the communication networks of Earth. At first, nobody noticed. People went about their daily lives, staring at glowing screens, sending messages, watching the latest news. Then, every government received the same transmission, a holographic image flickering into their offices. A group of beings appeared, tall and slender, with elongated faces and eyes that seemed to see through time itself. They were the Council, the rulers of dozens of advanced civilizations across the galaxy. Their voice was cold, calculated, but carried across every human channel as if it spoke directly into each mind. Humanity, it said, your presence in this galaxy has been noted. You are weak, unprepared, and unworthy. You will submit tribute to the Council. Resources, technology, and personnel must be provided within one of your Earth cycles. Refusal will be met with eradication. The message ended abruptly, leaving a silence so deep it felt like the entire planet was holding its breath. Governments scrambled. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers were pulled into emergency meetings. In New York, Elena Ramirez, a captain in the Earth Defense Fleet and one of the few humans who had trained under the new interstellar protocols, stood in the command center staring at the Council's message. "This is insane," she muttered to herself, though she spoke loud enough for her team to hear. "They think we will just give up everything we've built. They think we're weak." Her team of advisors looked uneasy. Some were terrified, others angry. There were murmurs about giving the Council what they asked for, hoping to avoid war. But Elena shook her head. "No, humanity doesn't bend. We've survived floods, famine, plagues, and wars on our own planet. And now these aliens want to tell us how to live in the stars? Not a chance." Meanwhile, in political chambers across the world, leaders debated fiercely. Some argued compliance was the safest choice. After all, the Council had fleets far more advanced than anything Earth could produce. Others argued for resistance, pointing to humanity's history of achieving impossible feats when pushed to the edge. Elena knew the world could not rely on fear alone. Humanity's strength lay in its creativity, its unpredictability, its ability to adapt. That was their edge, even if the Council did not see it. She gathered the top scientists and engineers in a secret facility beneath the Nevada desert, far from prying eyes. Massive spacecraft hung in the shadows, half completed, some patched together from existing satellites and newly designed technology. "We have one chance to show them who we are," she told them, "not through surrender, not through begging, but through ingenuity. They expect us to give them tribute in a way they understand. We're going to give them tribute in a way they don't." The humans worked day and night. Engineers sketched new propulsion systems on digital boards. AI programmers trained artificial minds to manage complex combat scenarios. And designers created drones and robots that could perform dangerous missions with precision. They worked tirelessly, fueled by the knowledge that the galaxy was watching, and the Council expected failure. As the days passed, the Council's emissaries approached Earth in their massive ships. Their fleets glimmered with an otherworldly energy, moving silently across the void. Governments panicked. Citizens speculated endlessly about the fate of their species. News channels broadcast every sighting, every rumor. People prayed, some hid, some protested, and some watched with nervous fascination. When the Council ships entered orbit, Elena and her team were ready. They did not fire weapons, nor did they send pleas for mercy. Instead, they activated the first demonstration of human ingenuity, a fleet of ships that moved like a single organism, coordinated by an AI that learned and adapted faster than any alien observer could predict. The Council watched with mild surprise at first. "Primitive design," one of the beings murmured. "They cannot comprehend coordination at this level. It will fail." But it did not fail. The human fleet executed maneuvers that seemed impossible, weaving through asteroid fields, performing synchronized rotations, and creating energy shields that glimmered like liquid silver. Small drones detached from the fleet, performing tasks the Council had never considered, repairing ships instantly, rerouting power, and analyzing alien energy systems in real time. Elena stood on the command bridge of Earth's flagship, her eyes fixed on the largest Council ship. She sent a message back, simple and direct. "We accept your demand for tribute, but we will provide it as a demonstration of humanity's skill, creativity, and intelligence, not as submission. You will judge us by what we create, not by what we surrender." The Council emissaries paused. They had expected fear, obedience, panic. Instead, they saw audacity, unity, and brilliance. They had expected humans to cower, but Elena and her fleet displayed confidence and strategy that rivaled entire council fleets in small, calculated ways. On Earth, people watched the event unfold in real time. Children stared at screens with wide eyes. Soldiers clenched their fists in awe. Scientists whispered excitedly about the possibilities. Humanity, for the first time, did not fear its place in the galaxy. It was claiming it. The council convened privately on their ship, a dark chamber glowing with alien symbols. "They are different," one said, its voice betraying confusion. "They are weak yet strong, unprepared, yet capable of innovation beyond calculation." Meanwhile, Elena's team continued their work, preparing the next phase of humanity's response. They would not simply impress the council, they would force them to respect Earth. Humans developed plans to create energy systems that could power entire cities from a single generator, weapons that simulated the effects of natural disasters without destruction, and AI programs that could predict alien strategies. Each demonstration was carefully calculated. The humans showed capability without aggression, intelligence without arrogance, and power without cruelty. It was a subtle message. Humanity would not bow, but it could not be ignored. As the first Earth cycle ended, the Council sent another message. Their tone was different this time, less cold, more curious. "Humanity, you have responded in ways unexpected. Your tribute is..." Continue. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Humanity was not out of danger, not yet. The Council was still more advanced, still threatening. But the seed of respect had been planted. They had begun to see humans not as pawns or weaklings, but as equals capable of shaping the galaxy in their own unpredictable ways. In the weeks that followed, Earth continued to prepare not for surrender but for dialogue. Humans worked on projects that blended art, science, and strategy into forms the Council had never imagined. They created ships that could heal themselves, AI that could anticipate needs before humans expressed them, and energy systems that could adapt to any environment. When the Council returned for the next assessment, they were met not with submission but with innovation. Every display was a challenge to the Council's assumptions. Every success forced them to reconsider the humans they had underestimated. And across the galaxy, other civilizations began to notice. Whispers spread from one star system to another. Humanity is strange, unpredictable, and powerful. Elena watched the stars from the command bridge, thinking of the journey ahead. Humanity's place in the galaxy was not guaranteed, but one thing was clear: they would never be dismissed again. Their creativity, their courage, and their unity were weapons stronger than any fleet or laser cannon. As Earth's tribute projects continued, the Council emissaries grew more fascinated, less threatening. They had come expecting obedience. They found brilliance. And for the first time in galactic history, humans stood not as subjects but as equals in the eyes of the cosmos. Elena turned to her team and said, "We've only just begun. The galaxy thinks it knows us, but it has no idea what humans can do when pushed to the edge. We show them who we are, not with fear, but with everything we have, and we will not be stopped." Her team nodded, determination shining in their eyes. Humanity was no longer afraid. And the galaxy for the first time had a reason to fear, not fear of destruction, but fear of being outmatched by the audacity, creativity, and brilliance of Earth's children. The stars outside the command bridge glimmered like scattered jewels. Somewhere out there the Council waited, but humanity was ready. Not for war, not for submission, but for recognition, respect, and the chance to claim their place among the stars. And that claim had only just begun. The galaxy watched quietly as humanity's tribute projects continued. What the Council had expected to be a simple handover of resources and technology had turned into something far more remarkable. Humanity did not merely comply. They challenged the expectations of every civilization in the Council. Every display, every invention, was an expression of ingenuity, creativity, and courage. Captain Elena Ramirez stood on the bridge of Earth's flagship, observing the Council ships hovering in orbit. Their emissaries, once cold and stern, now seemed uncertain. The humans had turned what was meant to be submission into a demonstration of brilliance, and the Council did not yet know how to respond. Elena tapped a screen, activating a holographic simulation of Earth's tribute. Ships folded like origami in space, energy grids shifted seamlessly to new configurations, and AI units performed calculations in real time that adjusted to the alien fleet's movements. It was a performance of intelligence, adaptability, and vision. "Prepare for the next assessment," Elena said to her team. "They will be watching. This is our moment to show that humanity does not just survive, we excel." Her team nodded. Engineers, scientists, and tacticians worked in perfect synchronization. Every human involved knew their role, yet they also knew that creativity could not be forced. Improvisation, the kind of thinking that had allowed humanity to survive centuries of disaster on Earth, would be their secret weapon. The Council's emissaries gathered in their own ship, a vast structure of light and metal that seemed to float like a living entity. Their deliberation was silent, measured, and tense. They had seen humanity's ingenuity before, but each new project revealed an unexpected level of sophistication. "They are unpredictable," one said, its voice low and curious. "They obey the demands superficially, yet they innovate beyond expectation." "How is it possible?" Another responded, "They should be weak. Yet every move, every demonstration forces us to reassess our calculations. They are dangerous." Meanwhile, on Earth's bridge, Elena initiated the next stage of humanity's plan. This was no longer about impressing the Council. It was about proving that humans could contribute to the galaxy in ways no other species could. Drones launched from Earth's orbit, swarming around the Council ships. Unlike weapons, they carried devices designed to repair, analyze, and improve the alien vessel's systems. They moved with perfect precision, learning the Council's technology in real time and applying modifications that increased efficiency. One emissary leaned forward, eyes widening. "They are helping us?" "Yes," another admitted. "And they do it better than our own engineers. They understand the complexity of our systems in ways we do not anticipate." Elena's team monitored the Council's reactions. The humans had no intention of harming the aliens. They wanted respect, not fear. Yet every improvement they made demonstrated capability, intelligence, and strategic thinking. Humanity was turning compliance into leadership. In the following days, humans presented projects that merged science and creativity. Energy generators harnessed cosmic radiation with efficiency the Council had never seen. AI programs learned and adapted faster than any known species' technology. Small spacecraft demonstrated speed and maneuverability that rivaled Council designs. Each project was both tribute and challenge, a message that humans were not to be underestimated. Back on the Council's ship, debate raged. "They are not submissive," an elder voice said. "Yet they comply on their own terms. Their ingenuity is remarkable. This is unsettling." "They are humans," another voice replied. "Their history is full of surprises. Perhaps this is why they have survived so long despite limited resources. But now they extend beyond their world. We cannot ignore them." As Earth continued its demonstrations, Elena prepared for the final phase of the tribute, a simulated cooperative war exercise. The Council had demanded human military personnel for observation. Elena agreed, but with a human twist. The humans and Council emissaries engaged in complex exercises designed to test strategy, cooperation, and adaptability. At first, the Council expected humans to fail. They assumed that humans, with limited experience in space combat, would struggle under pressure. Instead, the human participants displayed creativity and intuition that consistently outmaneuvered the Council's predictions. Elena observed quietly as her team coordinated attacks, defended positions, and adapted strategies in real time. Humans improvised tactics based on instinct and logic rather than rigid algorithms. They predicted the Council's moves not because of technology, but because of observation and understanding. The Council emissaries grew fascinated. "They learn too fast," one said. "They do not rely solely on machines. They rely on themselves." "Yes," another replied. "And their cooperation is remarkable. Despite differences, they operate as one. They are unified. It is not fear or obedience. They choose this." Elena knew the humans had already won in a sense. The Council had expected submission, yet humans had demonstrated skill, intelligence, and ingenuity far beyond the limits predicted by even the most advanced calculations. But she pressed on, determined to cement humanity's place in the galaxy. The final demonstration involved a collaborative project between humans and Council observers. Together, They constructed a massive energy shield capable of protecting a planet from cosmic radiation. The Council had expected humans to need guidance. Instead, the humans led, showing innovative techniques that the aliens had never considered. When the shield activated, glowing across the orbit of Earth, a moment of silence fell across the Council chamber. The emissaries could not hide their astonishment. Humanity had taken a demand for tribute and turned it into a demonstration of partnership, intelligence, and capability. They are remarkable, one emissary finally admitted. They are not our subjects, they are equals. On Earth, celebrations erupted. Citizens cheered not just for survival but for recognition. Humanity had shown courage, creativity, and unity, and the galaxy had noticed. The Council's fleets lingered in orbit, no longer menacing but observing with respect and curiosity. Elena addressed her team in a quiet moment on the command bridge. They came expecting obedience. We gave them brilliance. We've shown that humanity cannot be underestimated, that we create, adapt, and excel. But this is only the beginning. The galaxy now knows we are here, and we will not hide. Weeks passed. The Council formally acknowledged humanity's achievements. Tributes would continue, but on new terms. Earth would contribute innovations and ideas, not resources surrendered under threat. Humans were no longer viewed as weaklings or pawns. They were collaborators, innovators, and a species that could challenge expectations. Across the galaxy, whispers spread. Other civilizations observed Earth with new eyes. Humanity was unpredictable, audacious, and capable of feats no one had imagined. The galaxy had seen a species rise not through conquest but through ingenuity, courage, and unity. On the flagship's bridge, Elena gazed at the stars. The Council had underestimated humanity, but now she thought no one would ever do so again. Humanity had claimed its place not through power alone, but through creativity, intelligence, and the willingness to act boldly. She turned to her team and said, "We've shown them who we are. But the galaxy is vast and there is much to do. We will continue to innovate, explore, and protect our world. The Council respects us, but respect must be earned every day, and humanity will earn it." The Council emissaries left orbit, no longer as enforcers but as observers and allies in cautious awe. Humanity had not only survived a test, they had transformed it into a historic moment of recognition. For the first time, humans were no longer seen as weak, insignificant creatures in the galaxy. They were visionaries, problem solvers, and a species capable of surprising the universe at every turn. Helena watched the ships disappear into the stars. A new chapter had begun, one where humans would no longer be underestimated. Across Earth, people looked up at the night sky with wonder and pride, realizing that their species had taken its first step into a larger, more unpredictable galaxy. And somewhere, far beyond the solar system, civilizations whispered stories of humanity, how a species, young and underestimated, had turned a demand for tribute into a demonstration that shook the galaxy. They had seen humans as weak, but they had learned the truth. Humans survive, adapt, and create, and no force in the stars could ever fully predict what they would do next. Elena smiled, knowing the truth of it. Humanity had claimed its place not with fear or surrender but with brilliance, and this was only the beginning.